All right, so here it is, you Trump supporters. Donald Trump has just officially stabbed you in the back for the first of many times. He went to Michigan to give a thank you speech. And while he was in Michigan, he talked about how the day before the election, he decided to go to Michigan and give one last speech. And he said, my opponent went there. And he said Bill and Hillary Clinton. And when he said that, there was a chorus of "lock her up" in the audience. And he said, no, in a very sort of New York way. No, don't do that. Forget it. And he was gesturing. He's just gesticulating. He's waving his hands around. And he says, forget it. And then he says, that plays great before the election. Now we don't care, right? Things that lying scumbags say for $100, Alex?
But when you talk about apology, I think the one that you should really be apologizing for, and the thing that you should be apologizing for, are the 33,000 emails that you deleted and that you acid washed. And then the 2 boxes of emails and other things last week that were taken from an office and are now missing. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it. But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. And we're going to have a special prosecutor. When I speak, I go out and speak. The people of this country are furious. In my opinion, the people that have been long-term workers at the FBI are furious. There has never been anything like this, where emails and you get a subpoena, and after getting the subpoena, you delete 33,000 emails. And then you acid wash them, or bleach them, as you would say, a very expensive process. So we're going to get a special prosecutor, and we're going to look into it, because you know what? People have been, their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done. And it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, I want to follow up on that. I'm going to let you talk about email.
Because everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised.
Really?
In the first debate,
and the audience needs to calm down here.
I told people that it would be impossible to be fact-checking Donald all the time. I'd never get to talk about anything I want to do and how we're going to really make lives better for people. So, once again, go to HillaryClinton.com. We have literally Trump. You can fact check him in real time. Last time at the first debate, we had millions of people fact checking. So I expect we'll have millions more fact checking because, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
But at the last moment, I said, 9 o'clock in the evening, let's go to Michigan. Okay? Right? Because I heard my opponent had scheduled Michigan unexpectedly. It was like all of a sudden with President Obama and Michelle and Bill and Hillary, and they were going to Michigan. No, it's okay. No, forget it. That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right?
No, we do care. People in America do care. You broadcast yourself as a law and order president. You said that if you were president, she would be in jail. You said she was a criminal. And you said you were going to investigate her after you were elected president. Multiple times, your position was very clear on this. Many people voted for you based on you putting this person in jail. You've already said you weren't going to do this. And Kellyanne Conway, your campaign manager, has already said, well, maybe Donald can help Hillary heal.
Meantime, President-elect Trump addressing another major campaign promise. His team says he is no longer planning to pursue criminal charges against Hillary Clinton, despite repeatedly threatening her with a special prosecutor on the campaign trail. Remember all the chants of lock her up at Mr. Trump's rallies? Well, now senior advisor Kellyanne Conway says the president-elect is ready to focus on other things.
I think when the president-elect, who's also the head of your party now, Joe, tells you before he's even inaugurated he doesn't wish to pursue these charges, it sends a very strong message, tone and content to the members. And I think Hillary Clinton still has to face the fact that a majority of Americans don't find her to be honest or trustworthy. But if Donald Trump can help her heal, then perhaps that's a good thing.
After months of hearing lock her up at campaign rallies for Mr. Trump, how do you think his supporters are going to respond to this?
They expect him to lock her up, so he better lock her up.
And so when you think about this, this is just a long string of things that Donald Trump said to win people over so they would vote for him. And yeah, all politicians do this, but Donald Trump did this in an over-the-top way, and he is not going to keep any of these promises. I know there's all these Trump loyalists, but you're going to see it. It's just going to be one backstabbing thing after another. Guy isn't really a Republican for you Republicans. The other piece is that the alternative media community really went to bat for Donald Trump. The majority of people in alternative media were pitching for Donald Trump, really didn't like Hillary. They're hoping to put the end to this Hillary Clinton crime family, and they hoped that Donald Trump would be a real guy, which most of us knew he wasn't.
Let me tell you something. You talk to Trump, it sounds like you're talking to like a Hollywood movie star. It's like, hello, Alex. Well, that's good. Let's discuss this. Oh, yes. You ask, you talk to Trump, he has like every number, every fact. He comes right back with the answer. He finishes your sentences. It's like, is this even real? You know what? Trump is the greatest thing we've ever seen, or he's the devil. Let me just hear by a newsflash. The Trump you see on TV is the dumbed-down Trump for the general population. The real Donald Trump is even scarier. And that's why they're so scared of him.
In the midst of the war, he offered us peace. He came like a lover from out of the east, with the face of an angel and the heart of a beast. His intentions were 666. He walked up to the temple with gold in his hand, and he bought off the priests and propositioned the land, and the world was his.
The guy's reading my mind. Maybe he's bad then. My gut tells me he's not. But Donald Trump's a whole other ballgame.
So we're going to get a special prosecutor, and we're going to look into it, because you know what? People have been, their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done, and it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton. No, it's okay. No, forget it. That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right?
This is a horrible thing he's just done and said.
But he starved us and beat us and nailed us to the door. Well, I'm ready to die. I can't take any more. And I'm sick of his lies and his tricks.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
No, it's okay. No, forget it. That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right?
You know, you're really beautiful. And a woman that looks like that has to have her own special scent.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you could tell me what you think of this scent.
I like that.
This may be the best of all. Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
You can't say I didn't try.
Mayor Giuliani.
You know, you're really beautiful.
You've got a lot going. I see you're smart. I see you're very beautiful. You just have to get that word average out of your vocabulary, and you have to tell yourself that you're great, and you have to believe it. If you can say it and don't believe it, it doesn't matter. So just go out there and work hard.
You need the leadership to come from the very pinnacle, from the very top. And if it doesn't, it's not going to happen. And that's not happening now. It's not happening now.
So just go out there and work hard.
You need the leadership to come from the very pinnacle, from the very top. And if it doesn't, it's not going to happen. And that's not happening now. It's not happening now.